Alright, it's just Joshua and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be going over one of the things people have been asking me a lot. I recently posted one of my M4 loadouts that I use for Battle Royale slash WarZone. Um, so today I'm going to be going over my M13, which lately I've actually preferred my M13 over my M4. My M4 setup is really good for mid-long or long-range combat, and it's just an absolute laser with a lot of stopping power. But M13 is it's a middle ground, and that's why I like it. I can laser people out from anywhere, and on top of that, it's also a really good hip fire close range gun. So I'm gonna just get right into it. Field upgrades always dead silence. I never really switch away from that. You can if you want. That's personal preference. Loadout. Before I go into any attachments, I'm just gonna go through my perks real quick. Just make it make sense. So I run the Javelin as a secondary. I do not use Overkill. Overkill allows you to use two primaries. Using two primaries will allow you to use things like a thermal sniper or a submachine gun, stuff like that. Some people like it. I personally find Ghost invaluable. It's so good. Um, Cold blooded also protects you from attack choppers, protects you from the thermals, from the snipers and stuff. It's absolutely amazing. And tune up, I personally use this one simply because of the reduce the charge time of field upgrades by 40%. A lot of other people, will go battle hardened or tracker if you're a running gunner, stuff like that. But reduce revive time by 25% is always a plus as well. Lethal in tacticals. Once again, I prefer the proximity mines. Some people like using the C4. A cool trick you can do with the C4 is actually sticking it to the side of automobiles or helicopters and waiting for a squad to get in it, or if you're in solo, obviously, and then explode it. It's really nice to do. You can set up a lot of bait traps with that. It's great. Claymores people like a lot. It just really depends on your stuff. I go flash. Some people like smoke or the decoys for baiting people and then popping your dead silence and flanking them. Some people run the heartbeat sensors, but I find too many people, use the perks that prevent seeing them, so I don't. And then the javelin. The reason why I use this is because it is a top-down attack. When a lot of people are on vehicles, they will look behind them to see if a rocket's chasing them, and then they'll bail before it hits. With the javelin slash joker, you cannot do that. It is a top-down attack, and when it hits, it typically kills whoever's in the vehicle. Like, I wipe full squads all the time. Solos, it's great. Anytime I see a vehicle, I just lock onto them. They die. It's phenomenal. Um, so now that we finished all that, let's get straight into the M13. Let's go to the gunsmith. Muzzle, always the monolithic suppressor. Sound suppression and damage range you can't beat. Um, I personally don't mind the slower aim down sight and the aim walking. I'm pretty good with my shots, so and I'm good with my timing, and you should be as well. So aim down sight isn't super needed, especially for the damage range and the sound suppression. I always go with this. The Tempest Marksman, same thing. I'm not a huge fan. I don't need the movement speed and everything like that, but all the pros you get the damage range, the bullet velocity, the recoil control. It just adds into this thing being a laser. Um, then I run no actual laser. The monocle reflex sight. The monocle when you're actually taking your shots and the gun's doing its little bit of hop up recoil. The monocle actually gets rid of some of that recoil for you. I find the 60 round mags are also really great. Some people like the blackout rounds. However, the problem I personally find with the blackout rounds is the 30 round mags end up allowing me to only kill like about one person on average. The 60 round mags, I typically get about two. I'll typically get about one kill per 20 bullets, if that makes sense. So, without reloading. So I go the 60 round mags. I just find it's that much better than the 50. I typically run out after 2 kills before I get my 3rd kill with the 50 if you don't land every shot. And the 60 I also feel steadies the gun a bit more. That might just be a placebo, but I personally feel it that way. Now for this one, I run the Ranger foregrip. The Ranger foregrip is better for mid to long range. It helps steady the gun, prevents recoil, and it's better for mid to long range. It does slow down aim sight, and it does slow down walking speed. If you do not like that, you can always go for, a tactical foregrip, commando foregrip, or the Merc foregrip. All of these things, are better at running and gunning than the Ranger, but some are a bit better middle ground. Like if you want a good mid ground, the Merc foregrip is a good way to go. The commando and the tactical are more so for running gun. Operator, I don't know. I personally never go with this one. You can if you want, if that's kind of your thing. But I really don't. I'm not really I don't really like that one too much. Now, the grip tape. If you're not going to run the monolithic or you like the iron sights, there's a couple options. I would personally get rid of the optic before I got rid of the monolithic. But you can always go the lasers, if you want to build it more for running gun. And if you're running and gunning and you're hip firing, you obviously don't need the optics, so that would be the first thing I do. The stock, I don't really find anything here worth going for. Obviously, you'd want to go no stock if you were running and gunning, but I don't suggest you do that right now. It's just not really viable with this gun. It is, but I wouldn't build it for just running and gunning. This gun is too unsteady if you only build it for that. That it's literally a close range gun, and if you run just a close range gun, there's better submachine guns that you can run. Sleight of hand you can use if you're running blackout rounds. Sleight of hand all day. That's the only adjustment I would really make to this build. Is if you're somebody that wants to run blackout rounds, run sleight of hand. It's gonna be needed, and I don't know. That's pretty much it. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, leave them down in the comments. If there's any other guns you want me to explain the builds, the best builds, why I build them the way I do, also let me know what gun that is. I have builds for almost every gun. This gun specifically is more of a squad or multi-kill gun, and more for mid to long range. Can be used in close quarters. Better than the M4 in close quarters, but not as good as other alternatives. I'm currently also working on making a growl video and a kilo video. The kilo is very unique for a couple reasons, and I'll get more into that in the video. Make sure to drop a subscribe if this helped you at all. Make sure to follow my Twitch. I do stream pretty often, and thank you for watching.